Hey guys, it's Margaret with Let's Learn to Sew, and in today's video we're going to be making some reusable produce bags. You're going to need some clips or some pins. You're going to need some cording or ribbon, that's going to be the drawstring, scissors, sewing machine, and thread. You're going to need a piece of tool that is double the length of this produce bag that you want, plus 1 inch by the width that you would like your finished produce bag to be, plus 1 inch. That extra inch is going to give us room for our casing and seam allowances. So go ahead and get your tool cut. My tool folded in half. This is the folded end. Up here's the opening. This is where the produce is going to go in. On one side, I'm going to start pinning it together about 2 inches down. So let's get that marked first. What I'm going to do is put 2 pins right together. I'm going to start at that bottom one. Double check again. Scoot down a little bit. And you can use pins. I just think these clips are a lot easier to work with when it comes to tool. And the reason we're leaving this open is because we're going to fold this down and then we're going to go in and around to make our drawstring. So we're going to flip this around. And on this side, we can start at the very top, getting those 2 top pieces aligned. Now we're going to take this over to the sewing machine. Again, on this side, we're going to start about 2 inches down and go all the way down. On this side, we're going to start at the top and go all the way down. And I suggest using a small zigzag stitch for this instead of your stretch stitch. So I've got my machine set up for a zigzag stitch. Got my thread tails to the back. We're going to do about a 1/2 inch of seam allowance. I'm going to go ahead and remove this bottom clip. Now, normally I tell you guys don't stretch or pull on your fabric or push it. For this tool, if your tool is a bit stretchy like mine is, you are going to have to just stretch it a little bit. That's going to keep it from wrinkling up. We're going to go ahead, raise our presser foot, and trim our threads. Now I have it flipped over to the other side where we're starting at the top. Okay, go ahead and raise your presser foot and trim your threads. What I'm going to do, this is the side that I stitched all the way up. I'm just going to trim this down, making sure not to cut into my stitch line. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to stop when I get to where I started stitching, because remember, this is the side that we started a little further down. Now this is our opening. We're going to fold it down, and we're going to bring this edge of the fabric to where we started stitching. We started 2 inches down. That gives us a 1 inch fold over. So I'm going to use my seam gauge, go all the way around, measuring and folding down the fabric and pinning it into place. So now what we want to do is take this over to the machine and stitch all the way around to form the casing for our drawstring. So I'm going to slip this on like it's kind of like putting a sock on the machine. Here's my raw edge. And what I'm going to do is just stitch all the way around using a zigzag stitch. I'm going to stitch over till I get back to the other side. Okay. At this point, we've made it all the way around the entire top casing. We'll raise the presser foot and trim the threads. Now we'll take this back over to the table and insert the drawstring. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this right sides out. So now our seams are on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of cording that is double the width plus about 3 to 4 inches. So I'm cutting my cording at 30 inches. We can always trim it off if we need to. So I'm going to burn the end of my cording. That's just going to keep it from unraveling. Tool here that is actually made for turning ties and putting elastic and cording into things. We're going to go in one opening. We're just going to work it all the way around. You just kind of cinch it up and pull it back. You just want to be careful not to push through the bag, because this point can go through the netting if you're pushing too hard. We're going to take these two ends. I'm just going to wrap them around my finger, push it through the hole so we got a little knot there. Now it's ready for your produce. Once you get your produce in there, just pull it tight. Go ahead and give it a try. Give it a pull. And there we go. Our produce bag is ready to use. Now you can ditch the plastic bags and help our environment. If you have any questions about this project, let me know down in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. And be sure to visit letslearntosew.com, your pattern making and sewing headquarters.